This weekend, a new movie called Odessa premiered on Hulu. Here's my review. Now, this was a movie I was really looking forward to. The trailer had all the right vibes for me. Hey, a dystopian future with the aesthetic of an 80s film that's also an 80s style rock opera? That sounds awesome. And unfortunately, the concept is more interesting than the execution. There are some good ideas, but they're all very underdeveloped. It feels like it's borrowing from too many other stories. The rock opera album concept feels taken from Rush's 2112, which is a Rush album about a dystopian future. Bob's Burgers even kind of had an homage to it. It also feels like a gender-swapped version of George Orwell's 1984, with the villain being this charismatic leader who has eyes everywhere. The aesthetic feels very derivative of the Capitol from the Hunger Games, and the concept of the main character being a farm worker who has a destiny to defeat the evil overlord, that's the original Star Wars. Now, visually, it's very interesting, and at times feels like a film from A24, and the songs are all really good. There aren't any bad songs in this movie, and the people involved can actually sing. It doesn't sound overly auto-tuned. However, the segues to the songs don't feel natural. They feel forced in. The main character is very paper-thin, without much of an arc, making it hard to care about what happens to her. If you ask me to describe the main character, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you. Her love story is also very rushed. The film doesn't really take the time to flesh out their relationship. It just uses her falling in love as a way to make things go bad for her in the second act. The side character she falls in love with has more of a character arc than she does. By the end of the film, it just feels very unsatisfying. The villain is this charismatic leader who is able to make the world into his own personal cult, and they don't give us much info about how the world got this way, or how he was able to take power and control people. It's mildly explained in the beginning in like one or two sentences that you read, but again, there's a lot more potential that should have been further explored. It's so frustrating. This feels like a movie where they had the concept and outline, and then wrote songs based on the outline, but when it came time to make it a full-fledged story and script, they couldn't think of anything, so they just worked from the outline. Just listen to the soundtrack, because besides the visuals, that's the only interesting thing about this film. It may be inspired by Rush, but the film itself is also rushed. So unfortunately, I have to give this movie a D, a 6 out of 10, and a 2 out of 5 stars. This is a movie you can skip.